Hi, my name's Daniel Hooks, and I'm doing a video for healthyplace.com. This is my basically the history of my illness from when I think it started, my mental illness, and until now. I've got a few bits not jotted down. Basically, I think my depression started at 12 years old. I was feeling very down and I wasn't eating, and I'd been rejected by this girl at school who I thought a lot of, and that really started it. I cut up pictures of myself and did various other strange things that people really can't understand, baby pictures of myself. So I really didn't like myself at the time, and yeah, I was offered antidepressants, but I said no to the doctor at that time, and my depression seemed to go away after that. But I was but at school I was very shy and very nervous. And I still am to this day, really. But basically, I swapped classes when I was like 14. I swapped to the other side of the year at school. Swapped classes and swapped tutor groups and things like that, and that caused me to not have my friends in the same class as me. My friends weren't in the same class as me, and I didn't really socialise, and sort of left my school with good grades. Mostly A's and B's and C's. There was only one D I got, and that was in home economics. But I left school with good grades, and started college. But I didn't really make many friends there. I sort of got more increasingly paranoid, and yeah, I didn't make any friends really at all, or any lasting relationships. Didn't really socialise, didn't really hang out. Mostly came home because the college was near my house, and subsequently didn't make any relationships, and got more and more paranoid, and started leaving home, and late at night, and being paranoid and not really wanting to talk to anyone. And there was a long sequence of events, but I ended up being sectioned under the Mental Health Act 1983 and ended up going to the Priory in London. That was really my first taste of full-on mental illness. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia in the Priory and in London, and the hospital in London I was in, and they thought it was schizophrenia, and they thought I was going to have another episode after I became unwell the first time. They thought I'd recover and then I'd have another episode, or recover a little bit and then have another episode, but thankfully I didn't. I came home. I thought that'd be the answer to my problems, coming home, and basically it wasn't. Throughout my upbringing, my parents have argued, and we ended up arguing, and I ended up binge drinking and generally being unwell. And I mean, basically, alcohol makes things worse for you in the long run, and especially if you've got a mental illness, it causes you to be more unwell. So I became more unwell and ended up being kicked out, and lived in sheltered accommodation. But I got some work with a neighbour and ended up moving out of the sheltered accommodation, and coming to the place I am now, because I live with my boss. Not easy, I know, but there we go. He was very supportive, and he also knew me as a child, because he's a neighbour of my mum and dad's, and he supported me a lot, and through it all. And basically, I started to get better. I've met some of my best friends. You know, after I came out of the sheltered accommodation, I got to know people and made some friends, and relationships keep you going. Yeah, I ended up because I met a Japanese guy at one of the like parties we have around here, like bonfire and fireworks party, or bonfire night, which is the 5th of November in the UK, and basically I went over to Japan in 2004 and celebrated my 21st birthday after climbing Mount Fuji, which was a great experience. I mean, I've had to fight for all the experiences I've got. I've had to really fight for with a mental illness. It's up and down, and yeah, I've had to fight. I've had to be on medication as well to keep me stable, and so I can build on that. And yeah, that's my history of illness. I mean, I've had 2 bouts of psychosis, and I seem to have missed out one of those bouts of psychosis because I went involuntarily before in 2003, which I forgot to tell you about. But yeah, it's difficult being in front of a camera and trying to talk about your experiences and trying to condense them into one thing. But yeah, hopefully I've done. That's my history of illness, my mental illness so far, and I continue to work 2 days a week. Continue to volunteer for the Service User Involvement Project, which basically means that I helped other mental health service users to represent them in what I do. So that's good. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll be making a few more. Thank you very much. Bye.